This is my vintage Husqvarna 2000. I'm going to show you some seams and how to use it. On the back side you have a couple of wheels. You can choose which seams you want. And then if you are going to choose from the wheel A, then you can add in the color of the seam that you are going to sew. So I'm going to try this first, a heart seam. So I have all the wheels set on blue, and then it sews this heart seam. So the first wheel is the seam chooser, the second wheel is the seam length, and the wheel down here is the seam width. Now I'm going to set the machine on a zigzag. So I choose these settings on the seam chooser, and then I have quite a narrow seam, zigzag seam. So if I change this setting, I'm going to get more distance in between the stitches. And then if I change this wheel, I'm going to get a wider kind of zigzag. So if I change this wheel to 0, I'm going to get a straight stitch. And here I can choose in between 2 and 3 to get a normal straight stitch. And you see the small button in the center, that is where you can do back stitches. Now I'm going to make a gathering seam, so I max out on the stitch length. And that is about everything you need to make most of the projects. On my machine I also got this presser foot, which is going to make a double hem. To change the presser foot you simply turn on this wheel. Start by folding a double hem, which is going to be quite narrow, and then you insert it under the presser foot and into the loop. Set down the presser foot and adjust your fabric, and then it's just to sew and keep the fabric in the loop. You need to practice this on a piece of fabric before you start your project. It's quite difficult to manage this, and I noticed that the machine has some trouble going over the side seams, for example, and at the end when I got on the side it didn't look very nice. So you might have to adjust some of the stitches, but otherwise it's a very thin and good looking kind of hem. And once you've got the hang of it, then it's quite easy and goes quite fast on this vintage machine. So I highly recommend it if you're going to hem a lot of skirts, for example. please visit my Patreon Sew for Kids, where you will get a lot of projects and you will get the pattern also.